After being abruptly halted for more than a month, the Oscar Pistorius murder trial is scheduled to resume Monday.
Court proceedings were adjourned last month to allow the Paralympian to undergo a psychiatric evaluation.
Tomorrow, the court could hear whether Pistorius had a mental health issue when he shot and killed his girlfriend, Reva Steenkamp. He claims he mistook her for an intruder.
The evaluation is critical to the outcome of this case. It could determine if the trial continues at all.
The ordered evaluation comes after a psychiatrist testifying on behalf of the Pistorius defense said the Blade Runner suffers from an anxiety disorder that affected his decision-making the night of Steenkamp's death.
It is my opinion, my lady, that Mr. Pistorius has an anxiety disorder. He was aware that he was a public figure and believed that this made him at an increased risk of being attacked or burgled.
Following that testimony, Judge Tokasil Masipa assigned a panel of 3 psychiatrists and 1 psychologist to assess Pistorius to determine whether he was capable of understanding his actions when he shot through his bathroom door. That assessment is now completed, and the final report handed over to the prosecution and defense Friday. According to legal and medical experts, there are 3 likely determinations and scenarios that could come from the panel's findings. The first could be that Pistorius does suffer from an anxiety disorder so severe it rendered him mentally incapacitated at the time he shot Steenkamp. ABC spoke to a South African psychiatrist who says if this is found to be the case, Pistorius would be committed to a psychiatric hospital. He would basically become a patient of the state until it is found that he no longer poses a danger to society. The second possibility and best case scenario for the defense is if Pistorius is determined to have an anxiety disorder and that somehow diminishes his criminal responsibility. This would have no effect on determining guilt or innocence, but might help Pistorius avoid the mandatory life sentence if he is found guilty. The third scenario is doctors determine Pistorius' mental health was not an issue. This means the trial would proceed and Pistorius could not use mental health as a defense or mitigating factor. If the trial continues after Monday, the defense will still have a few witnesses to call before Judge Masipa hears closing arguments and renders her verdict. If convicted without mitigating factors such as mental health, Pistorius faces a mandatory minimum sentence of 25 years in prison. For Newsy, I'm Jamal Andrews.